friends, and welcome back. Today's class is the first in a series, and we're working on the fifth universal principle of alignment in Anusara Yoga, expansion. And what I want to say is, can you really expand without first contracting? And so in today's class, we explore something called Spanda. And Spanda is one of the attributes of supreme consciousness. Everything in the universe that is constantly in a state of either expanding or contracting. And we begin by bringing awareness into the breath. When we inhale, our lungs expand. When we exhale, they contract. And in fact, there would be no life without both of those principles working in harmony. And we tend to sometimes, because of life's experience, get stuck in certain areas of ourself, our bodies, our emotional bodies, our mental bodies. Sometimes we can get stuck in a contraction. Sometimes we can get stuck open. So by practicing bringing mindfulness to the flow of expansion and contraction in the body through the breath, and practicing that in the ways that we show up in our alignment in each asana, we can also bring that mindfulness into those areas of ourselves that may be stuck and give them some support. So that's the offering in today's class, and I hope you enjoy. I'm glad you're here. Being in your comfy seat. If closing your eyes feels good, to let your gaze go inward. Beginning just to notice what that's like. Attuning yourself gently to the movement of your own breath. And maybe just beginning with a compassionate gaze. We're all dealing with so much. Allowing what you find here. Letting yourself feel what you're seated upon. Letting the pelvis get a little more weighty. Let gravity really draw your pelvis towards the earth. And as you do that, just noticing how and if that makes any shifts in your breathing. Yeah, good. Letting gravity continue to draw downward as you simultaneously feel a gentle upward draw through the spine without forcing or doing anything. It's simply there as an offering to lengthen. Noticing any gentle or subtle shifts in the breath. And as you allow this gaze, this inward gaze, this interoceptive gaze, you may begin to notice other sensations, places of holding or tightness, contraction. You may notice the skin of the face, the muscles of the jaw. The ease or the non-ease of the breath. You may notice where the breath is happening in you. Is it high up in the chest? Can you feel your belly moving with the breath? And I invite you to begin to notice the natural expansion of the rib cage, the belly, the collarbones with the inhalation. And the contraction that takes place on the exhalation. Just noticing that this process of expansion on the inhalation and contraction on the exhalation is a constant in you. Simultaneously, the heart, as it beats, is doing something quite similar. With every pulse, there's a contraction to move the blood, and then an expansion to receive blood. In tantric teachings, philosophical teachings, we call this one of the attributes of the universal. It's called Spanda. All that is in a constant state, moving between expansion and contraction. And when we bring our awareness to this, we can begin to bring this principle into our lived experience as a practice. If you imagine for a moment inhaling and expanding with no exhalation, just expanding and expanding and expanding and expanding, you could see that life would not be possible for you. There must be a contraction. And simultaneously imagining simply contraction, 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 exhalation, exhalation, life would not be possible. There must be an expansion. So let's take our hands together in front of the heart. And we'll join our voices for the sound of one Om. Exhale fully. Inhale fully. Wonderful. And releasing the hands. If your eyes are closed, feel free to open them now. Yeah. As I open my eyes, I see how Ekis has moved around the room. So let's take an inhalation and find some length in the spine, and maintain that length and let yourself come into a gentle twist in one direction without using hands, just gently turning around the central axis of the spine, letting the breath be easy. Inhale your way to center. Exhale here. Inhale, let yourself get nice and full and long, creating space between vertebrae, and in that space, turn yourself. Breath is easy. And inhale to unwind. Great. Grab a block. Stick it on the crown of the head. This is always a fun moment. There's certain head shapes that make this more challenging than others. Yours?
My hair gels.
Your hair gel is really helpful. Yeah, it's kind of sticky. Jeff has kind of like a ridge at the top of his head, so it makes it a little tricky. Yeah, okay, good. So just noticing that. And once again, let yourself feel gravity. Feel the pull of gravity. And then on the inhalation, let yourself find length. So you simultaneously press the sits bones into the earth and find length through the crown into the block. Good. And then exhale, you can let that go. All right. And take hands, palms facing up. You enjoyed that? I was like, ooh, what's up? Balance. Love the balance. Okay. Palms facing up. And now this is going to be really good for this. This is going to be the opposite of that, okay? So as we inhale and find some length, just gently draw elbows back and let heart lift. Exhale it out. Inhale, bring it in again. Exhale it out. Inhale, bring it in again. Now see if you can maintain that and then take your block onto the crown. Good. Pressing through sits bones, find length through crown, pressing into the block. Good. And keeping all of that on the next inhalation, feeling your length with the block on the head. Give yourself a gentle twist. Make any micro adjustments you need to. You can fill the back body, like I just noticed I need to fill my back body and try to come at it again. And then inhale your way out. Come to center. Let's bring palms up again. Find length in the spine. Yep. Gently draw arms back. Heart lifts. Press through sits bones and up through the block. And then find your way into a gentle twist. Keep breathing. Did anybody stop? And inhale, unwind. You can take the block down when you're ready. Awesome. Let's all come onto our backs. And if it feels good on your back, you can give yourself a nice morning stretch. Oh, and make a sound. Ah. Yeah. Great. Let's take our hands right up to the sky. Jazz hands, palms facing one another. And reach through fingers to lift shoulder blades off the mat. And then exhale, sink shoulder blades into the mat. Keep the shoulder blades sunk into the mat and reach again through fingertips. So we're reaching and extending once we have first engaged a muscular energy or a contraction. Good. Okay, so undo the contraction and simply reach through the fingers. That's just extension before contraction. And now melt shoulder blades onto the back. Let yourself have the contraction. Maintain the contraction and reach through fingers. Notice how different that feels. And then inhale, open the hands out to the side. Oh, I've got a mug of tea in my way. Inhale back up. Melt shoulder blades again. Reach through fingertips and begin to take hands up and overhead. Reaching through the heels as you reach through fingertips, and you do you. You know, you work with your own body around range of motion here. Good. And on the exhalation, take the backs of the hands onto the earth, bend the elbows, and bring arms into cactus arms. Breathing. Good. And then inhale, release that. Let's take both feet to the floor for a moment. And bring right foot up towards the sky. Reach with the hands around the back of the thigh. If it feels good, you can stay right here, or you can extend the left leg long. Nice. On the inhalation, we're going to gently bend the knee just a tiny bit, and on the exhalation, we're going to press and extend. And now on the inhalation, as you bend the knee, see if you can feel the head of the femur bone deeply in the socket, like coming towards earth. Keep that. And as you exhale, extend from deep in the pelvis. And then inhale, gentle bend, deep in the socket. Exhale, press. One more time. Inhale, sweet bend. Deep in the socket, draw. Use the hands to draw the femur more fully into the hip socket, and then from there, press out. Good. A little pointing and flexing. A little circling. Circling the other way. Good. And then inhale, just drawing that knee up towards the heart or the armpit. Exhale that foot down. Extend both legs and feel both sides for a moment. Maybe one leg feels a little longer than the other by like a half a mile. Okay, let's inhale both feet to the floor again and take the left foot to sky. Hands reach around to the back side of the hamstring. Now this may be really tight for you, and that's fine. And if it is, there's no need to get totally straight. Your leg may stay bent, and that's totally fine. So the right leg can either stay bent or you can extend it, right? With hands around the back side of the hamstring. Inhale with a bent knee. Draw the head of the femur into the socket, and as you exhale, press through the heel. You may not get to straight. It doesn't matter. Your body is going to do what is right for it. And then inhale, gentle bending, drawing femur into the socket. Exhale, press. Finding extension, whatever extension is right for you. And then inhale into the bend. Exhale into the extension. And one more time. Inhale, drawing deeply into the hip joint, and extend from the hip joint out through the foot. Maybe some pointing and flexing because it feels good. It gets the fascia all lubricated, maybe some circling, one way and the other. And when you're ready, draw that knee up towards heart. And if your right leg is extended, gently press the back side of the thigh into the earth. Good, and exhale that down. Nice. All right, maybe one more morning stretch. With sound if it feels good. And on the exhalation, we'll take both feet to the ground, hip width apart, bent knees, arms at your side. And following the breath, we'll begin to bring in some pelvic tilts. So rocking the pelvis. And you can explore which breath feels right with which movement. You know, as you create a little curve in the lower back, is that an inhalation? Or is that an exhalation? And then as you press the top of the sacrum into the floor, is that an inhalation? Or is that an exhalation? For me, that's an exhalation. It's a contraction. So inhaling, creating space, exhaling, gentle contraction, lubricating this part of the body. keeping the spine agile. Yeah, good. And on the next inhale, come back to center. We'll take right foot to sky, bend the knee, take the ankle in front of the left knee. Activate toes, and you can stay right here for your figure four, or if there's more, drawing that left knee in towards heart, lifting left foot off the ground, reaching through with hands to the back side of the thigh. Pause, active toes, breathe. Play here with sensation. So if your tendency is to push right to your limit, first thing, back it off and explore. Less can be more. And finding subtle opening here without forcing opening. The breath is steady, and maybe something in the jaw is ready to release. Yeah, I can hear that it is. Okay. And exhale that down. And we'll take the other foot down. I saw the video of a breath. It was a spoof on a breath class where somebody was dressed as the Grinch. Did you see this? And the teacher, she said, on the exhale, make a releasing sound. And the Grinch was like, All right. Inhale the left foot up towards sky. Exhale that ankle in front of the right knee. I was like, there it is. We all want to make that sound. If it feels good, you can inhale the right foot off the floor and reach through with the hands to the back of the thigh. Activate the toes. Yeah, good. And play here, right? So as right knee moves towards heart and left knee moves away, just allow yourself to experiment with what the right amount of ask of your body here is. So backing off to feel more. Oh, and if there's a sound that your hip wants to make, go for it. Oh. We carry a lot in our hips, a lot of history, right? So we're just being gentle and present and mindful with the breath, with lots of loving kindness, and then exhaling that down. Great. Let's take feet the width of the mat. You can open your arms out to the side or bring them into cactus arms. Experiment with what feels good to you right here, right now. Nice. Activate the toes and just take your knees towards the left for a gentle windshield wiper. And you can even experiment with just drawing that right knee away from the body. See if you can feel that in the quad muscle on the top of the leg. Again, softening the skin of the face. Sometimes parts of us get stuck in a contraction, right? Like a face muscle or jaw muscle can be stuck in a contraction. And so practice like this can be really supportive in melting contractions because we're not meant to stay contracted anywhere. Inhale, center. Exhale towards the right, active toes. Similarly, we're not meant to stay expanded. Sometimes we can get stuck open in certain ways, in certain places. Now see if by drawing that left knee away from heart, you can feel some opening in the quad muscle. Oh, if there's a sound here, allow it. Good. Inhale back to center. Let's take knees right up to the heart and give ourselves a little hug. Rock around on the back of the sacrum. And if it feels good, once again, you can open arms out to the side Activate the toes and begin to take knees towards the left, any amount for a twist, any amount at all. Maybe just a few inches, maybe they're going steady, maybe they come all the way to the floor. And maybe to something in you, this feels absolutely fantastic. Oh, I'm sure there's a sound here. My right butt cheek is singing a sweet tune right now. Good, and then inhaling it up, taking knees towards the right, any amount, or even just imagining taking them is an option. Oh. Just inviting the body to start to wake up in ways that are soothing and supportive, bringing more life to your systems. Okay, inhale back to center. From here, if it feels good to your body, we're going to do a little rocking on the spine. If it doesn't feel good, simply roll to the right and come around and find your way to hands and knees. But if rocking on the spine would feel good to you right now, you can give yourself a little rocking. And then we'll come up, cross the legs, find your way to hands and knees. Okay, nice and wide in the fingers, hands a little wider than shoulder width apart. Just begin by letting yourself move in any way that feels good. You're anchored through hands, you're anchored through knees. What wants to move? Oh. And the sounds are welcome. Letting sounds be the movement of energy. Good, and then coming back to center. Invitation is going to be on the exhalation to find the steady support of the bones of the arms up into the shoulders, but to let the heart space melt towards the earth. Oh. Finding some softening between the shoulder blades behind the heart. And as you inhale, letting that part of the body move towards sky. And exhale, having it melt again, keeping the arms steady. Inhale towards sky. Exhale, letting that melt. Sometimes we call this flossing, as though the heart was your dental floss and the shoulders were your teeth. And it's flossing in there. And this sort of begins to give the message to those muscles, particularly if they're stuck long, to begin to do something different. Come back online in a different way. And this view can begin to take into a cat and cow. Following with the breath. And you make this cat and cow your own. And if there's sound again. Inviting everyone to come back to center. Moving knees right underneath hip sockets, pressing into both hands. Inhale, the right foot back, straightening right leg. Draw navel towards spine, and then lift the back leg up. There's a tendency for the lower back to want to collapse here, so keep drawing the navel towards the spine, and then activate the toes, and from the base of the foot, draw up and into that hip socket again. Maintain that, and then extend it out through foot, out through crown. Pressing through hands. Breath is steady. Exhale to release. Woo, move any way you need to. If you need to give your hands a break, go ahead, give the hands a break. And then we'll come into what we're going to do the other side. So find the breath, draw navel towards spine, press through hands, walk left toes back, long straight leg, right toes tucked under, lift the left foot up. Pressing through hands, draw from foot up and into the hip socket, and then extend back out through the foot and the crown. There's your extension. Good. Exhale it down. If you need to sit back and give your hands a rest for a second and a shake out, go for it. Sometimes it feels good to just use the thumb to draw the skin back. Yeah, any movements. Love that. Little stretch. I love that. 5. Oh, it feels so good. All right, we'll come back. Nice. On the inhalation, take left hand forward, jazz hand. Draw navel towards spine. From fingers, draw the shoulder blade more deeply into the socket. And keeping that, exhale it back out. Press through the hand, press through the knees. Press through the crown. Ease in the breath. Exhale that out. Inhale, right hand comes up. Jazz hand. Draw from fingers into the shoulder socket. Keep that, extend it back out. Exhale it down. On your next inhalation, we're going to walk the left toes back. Draw navel towards spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale, lift right hand. Drawing from fingers and foot, come into center with a contraction and maintaining that inward draw, then extend out. Press through the hand and the knee and the crown. Breath is steady. Exhale, release. Nice, everybody. Inhale, take right toes back. Draw navel towards spine. Lift leg, lift left hand. Draw from extremities in. Keep that draw as you extend out from center. Out through crown, pressing through hand and knee. Keep breathing. Soften the jaw. Good. Exhale. Let's all come on down to our bellies. Nice job, everybody. Woo. Maybe your tail wants to wag. All right, arms at the side, palms facing down. And on the inhalation, lift right foot up and off the floor. Exhale it down. Inhale, lift left leg. Exhale it down. Inhale, lift both legs. Lift the head, lift the heart. Maybe lift the hands. Lois Lane. Look down at the world. Beautiful earth. Did they ever get that high when they were flying? And exhale it down. Let everything go for a moment. Let yourself, just really melt for just a moment. Move anything you need to, and then we'll take hands to the side of the rib cage. Feel the top of the thighs grounded into the earth. Feel the tops of the feet and the toenails pressing into the mat. And as you inhale, take shoulders towards ears and up onto the back to draw you up and into a gentle cobra. We're going to do several of these. And exhale it down. Inhale it again. Draw it up. Exhale it down. Really working with the shoulders here. Inhaling, shoulders towards ears, onto the back body and up. Exhale it down. Let's do 2 more. Here we go. Shoulders towards ears, onto the back. Up we go. Exhale it down. 1 more. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. Now, if it feels good to you, you can draw toes together. Open the knees wide, press into the hands, and take yourself back and into the pose of a child, making a little platform with the hands for your head. Notice the sound of your own breath, and notice how the inhalation expands the lungs, and the exhalation contracts. You can send that energy anywhere in you. And taking one more full breath here. begin to find your way to standing. Whatever your way to standing is. And I'll meet you there. And we'll bring our blocks. And we're going to bring a strap. Blocks and a strap. All right. Welcome to standing. like we've been on a plane and we finally arrived at our destination. Okay, we are here. Sometimes it's good because we're in a different state when we're standing than we have been, right? Yeah, so just take a moment. Yeah, if there's any kind of movement that your body wants right now, you can just close your eyes and give it to yourself. Anything at all. Feeling your ground, just any kind of whatever. Yeah, whatever it is. Good. And if stillness is your jam, that's totally fine too. Let's place our blocks at the top of our mat. Good. Find your feet. Maybe a little gentle rocking forward and back with nice wide toes. Good. And now coming to center, look down at your feet. Make sure that they're below the hips. You can put hands here to find your hip bones, and there they go. Lift and spread toes. You can let go of your strap for now, Shosh. We're going to come back to it. Good. Inhale, hands to sky. Press through feet, reach through fingers. Exhale, hands to heart. Gentle contraction. Here we go, pressing through feet. Inhale and expand. Letting yourself get nice and big and take up all kinds of space. And then exhale, going back into the heart, going back into a contraction. And one more time, pressing into the feet. Inhale, expand, take up space. And then exhale, hands back into heart. Now we're going to use our blocks. So inhale it high. Soften the knees. Exhale, swan dive forward, hands onto blocks. If your head is lower than your hips, let it go. Oh my gosh. And is that hard? Uh-huh. Inhale that heart space forward. Get long in the sides of the body. Exhale, let it go. Turn inward. Keep an action in the toes and the feet. Feet are active. Ankles drawing towards one another. Inhale, heart forward. Nice and long. Exhale, fold inward if there's a sound. One more time. Inhale it forward. Good. Pressing into the feet. Reverse swan dive up. Pressing into feet, reaching towards sky, expanding, expanding, expanding. And then exhale back into a contraction. Good. Okay, bringing hands out in the front. Like when we were on our back, imagining the floor is behind you. Let the shoulder blades kind of melt into that space. Good. That is a muscular energy, right? It's a gathering force. It's a centering energy. And from there, you can begin to draw the hands towards sky. Right, you work with your range of motion, now pressing through feet, keeping the shoulder blades engaged, then expand outward. Nice. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to take our strap. This is where things get a little dicey, right? Working with the strap. All right, we go through the two holes. and then back through one. We're going to make a loop that's just the right size to put our arms through, which will give us sort of an imitation of the width of the shoulders. Yeah, very nice. Let me have a look. We'll bring it right above the elbows. Looks pretty good. That looks a little tight, Jeff. Maybe a little bit more space. And we'll see how this works for your arm, okay? Yeah. It might be incredibly therapeutic, in fact. And I really am excited for you to actually have this sensation. Maybe a little looser, Shosh. Yeah. Okay, cool. Good. All right. It's already like something's going on. Okay, so I want you to have the experience of expanding into a boundary. So find your feet and find your breath. Lift and spread your toes, and then inhale the hands out front. Now you've got a nice boundary here, and begin to just let the arms draw into the boundary to draw shoulder blades onto the back, and notice if that feels more accessible to you to get them there, or if it just feels different in some kind of a way. For me, expanding into a boundary is heaven. And then we'll take hands up so that I don't have to always create the boundary, you know. Sometimes it's just so nice to have the boundary steady and ready and that I can expand into. Wow. So as you do this and you practice it again, just gently pressing arms into this boundaried space, what do you notice taking place in the rest of the body? Yeah, right? I felt it right in my left hip socket. It's like, oh, there we are. Good. And then exhale that down. All right, we're going to actually keep that there and come to the top of your mats. Bring hands together in front of the heart. Nice. Let's everybody step back with the left foot into a lunge shape. Yeah. Back foot is at a 45-degree angle. All right, we're all doing different legs, but that's okay, as long as next time you do the other one. Yeah, good. Whatever. Put a little softness in the back knee and give the hips a swivel. And then the other way. So bring a little water in. Yummy. And then find center. Good. Find your breath. Then gently draw legs in towards that midline of the body. Nice. Open the hands out. Press the arms into that sweet boundaried space to draw shoulder blades into socket, pressing into feet, lift up. Sorry about that strap, but you can actually use the strap and gently press the forehead into the strap to get something that we call skull loop, which is its own extension. Breathe, steady. Enjoy. And then exhale, hands to heart. Look down at your front foot, take weight into the front foot, step the back foot forward. Ooh. Nice. Do a little bouncing if that feels good to you, any kind of little movement. Then we're going to take the other side. So taking weight into the foot, the opposite foot that you just did, taking weight out and stepping it back, and coming into your lunge. Pause and breathe. Soften the back knee and give yourself a little hip swivel. And then the other way. Right? So we don't start in a rigid, contracted place. We just give ourselves a little watery spaciousness. Come into the breath. Come to center. Now gently draw legs to midline. Good. Take the arms out front. Staying in the breath. Gently pressing into the strap to draw shoulder blades more deeply into the socket. Beautiful. Pressing into the feet. Lift that up. And if that strap is right at the forehead, draw it into the forehead and gently resist to give yourself something we call skull loop. Nice. Exhale that down. When you're ready, bringing hands together, look down at your front foot, taking all the weight there, weight out of the back foot, and come forward. Let the strap go for now. We'll come back to it. Good. Let's take a little bit of a wide stance. Let the arms be heavy. And put a softness in the knees and just let the arms do the heavy sleeves. You can make a little sound. Letting the hand hit the kidney in the back is really also very cleansing. And then coming back to center. Whew. All right. Take left hand out in front, right hand underneath for something called Garudasana arms. I don't know how this is going to be for you, so don't push it, okay? All right. Good. Put a little softness in the knees. Feet about hip width apart. And we're creating a contraction here. So find this contraction. And then we're going to extend from the contraction. So pressing hands up towards sky, feeling the opening beneath the shoulder blades. Breath is steady. You've got a steady gaze, which is obstructed by your arms. And then inhale and release that. Nice. And we'll take the other side. So bring your right arm out, left arm comes under. Do the pretzel twist. Keep a softness in the knees. Feet about hip width apart. Check that. Good. Here we are creating a contraction. Nice. And then into this contraction, we begin to expand, extend, hands upward. Ease in the breath, steady gaze. And then inhale, release. Nice. Shake it out any way you need to. Come to the top of your mats. Find your feet. Feel your breath. Inhale, hands up. Reach, maybe a little back bend. And bend the knees, swan dive, exhale it forward. Make a sound. Inhale, heart forward. Good, and reverse swan dive. Hands come up, touching the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Nice. Look down at your feet. We're going to do another lunge. So let's everybody take weight into the right foot and step back with the left. Beautiful. Put that soft bend in the back knee and give yourself a hip swirl. And then the other way. Good. Find center. Excelente. And take both arms out in the front. And we're going to do a Garudasana arms here. So left arm comes underneath right. Find the gentle draw to midline with the legs. Find the draw to midline with the arms. There's your contraction. So we contract first, then pressing into the feet. Expand. Any micro moves that you need. Keep breathing. Good. We'll keep the arms here. Forward fold the upper body. Look down at your front foot. Take weight into the front foot. Step the back foot forward. And then let the arms go. Woo! Anything you need. Yeah. All right, other side. Looking down, lift and spread toes of your left foot. Bring the weight out of the right and step it back into a lunge. Nice. Find your breath. Put a little softness in the back knee, swirl the hips. And then the other way. Great, come to center. Draw to midline with the legs. Take both hands out in front. Right arm comes under left. Pretzel twist. Garudasana, eagle arms. Once again, finding draw to center with the legs, finding draw to center with the arms. You're in a practiced contraction, an intentional contraction, and now pressing through feet, find some space, find some extension here. Fingers move towards sky, any amount or none at all. Continue breathing. Soften your gaze. Keeping arms as they are, forward fold upper body, looking down to the front foot, taking weight out of the back foot, bring it forward, and release, fly. Good. Any movements you need to. Yeah. Nice. Good. Let's do the same thing again. So let's take wide feet, soft knees, and begin to let the arms with a and gently coming back to center. Okay, full Garudasana. I'm going to use a block. We'll do each side. So bring a block on down. We're going to step, use that block for our foot. So full Garudasana is pretzel twisting legs and arms. All right, so have the block on the outside of your right foot to start. Sorry, there we go. Good. Okay. Bring weight into that. Put a little softness in that standing knee. Take weight out of the left leg and around it goes. Now the block is there if you need it. If you'd rather try it without the block, you can kick it away. So the block's there if you like it. I kind of like that block. Okay, nice. So we're bending the knees and we're kind of sitting back and hugging. Now we're going to hug those legs right on into midline. Take both arms out front. Right arm comes under left. Nice. Contract towards midline. Sit back. Yeah, good. And then if it's available, find your extension, find your expansion as hands move towards sky. And when you're ready to come out, that's right, you feel so free, not contracted anymore. Okay, and we'll take the other side. Wayne, you can, do the arms in the chair. Yep, you got it, awesome. All right, so the block is now on the outside of the left foot. If you're using a block, find your breath. So let's just for a moment fully let go of what we just did. Let it sort of flush out through the next breath sequence. Letting it go completely before we begin again. Maybe softening the muscles of the jaw, the lines of the forehead. Letting breath be easy. Okay. And from that place, look down and lift and spread toes of your left foot. Put a softness in the knee. And begin taking weight out of the right foot. Bring it around to find your pretzel twist legs, arms out front. Good. Begin to sit back, and take the left arm under right. pretzel twist. You can just leave, you don't have to close it all the way because he can open and close that himself. Yeah, thank you, Shosh. Yeah. Sit back again. Find the draw to midline. Yeah, you got it. Good. And then finding some extension in the contraction. Breath is steady. Gaze is steady. And when you're ready to come out, fly. Good. Move any way you need to. Yeah, I see this going on. So let's everybody do that. So find your feet. Interlace fingers behind the body. Good. Drawing shoulders up and onto the back. Draw hands down, lifting heart. And gently draw the chin back. So we're not crunching the back of the neck. We're actually extending up through the crown. Oh. Any micro movements you need to make this feel really good. Nice. And exhale. Okay, we're going to take our mats to the wall. And you can take yours to the mirror. Mirror will be your wall. Oh, I'm looking at the time. Where did the time go? How did that happen? Arg. All right, for folks working on the computer a lot, this first thing we do is going to feel really good. So I would say, yeah, exactly. Turn it that way. You really did the color thing today, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
You really did. Okay. Let's put our right hand at the wall at shoulder height with nice wide fingers. Yeah. Okay. Or left, whichever way, if you want to be able to see me. Nice. Good. Find your feet and your breath. And like when we're on our backs, we're going to draw from the hand up the lines of the arm into the shoulder, drawing shoulder blade towards the spine and more onto the back. Then we're going to extend and press it back out. Left hand comes behind the occiput, behind the base of the skull with elbow forward, and begin to turn your feet away from the wall until you feel some sensation running down the front of your arm. For me, it comes very quickly. And press the head into the hand. Press through feet, get long through the crown. And breathe. Good, and inhale your way out. That feel good to anybody? Yes. And there it is. Okay, let's take the left hand at shoulder height, nice and wide in the fingers. So look over at your hand just for a second at shoulder height and draw up the lines of the arm into the shoulder to draw the shoulder blade more fully on the back, then press through the hand. Nice and active in those fingers, Vav. Nice and active in your fingers. Yeah, palm, good. Right hand comes behind the occiput. Nice. And as you're pressing from that center place, begin to turn feet away from the wall until you feel sensation. Oh, heart is lifting. Head pressing into the right hand. Pressing through feet, lengthening through crown, expanding. Good, and inhale to unwind yourself. I'm just noticing the time. Feeling annoyed at that. Let's take a wide stance on our mats. You feel free to, keep that wall behind you there, Wayne. Nice. Let's all turn left toes towards the left and put a bend in the knee for a Virabhadrasana 2 pose, lifting hands. Beautiful. So come into the breath. Good. And drawing from the feet up the lines of the legs into the depth of the hip sockets, and then we press back out again. And we do the same thing from the fingertips. We draw up the lines of the arms, drawing shoulder blades towards one another, lifting heart, pressing through feet, shining through fingers, shining through crown. Breath steady. And if there's a little sound here, a warrior sound, or a sound that allows you to feel the warrior in you. One more breath. Good. Inhale to release that. We'll walk our feet together for a moment. And then we're going to take the other side. So nice and wide stance. Turning your right toes towards the right. Put a bend in the knee. Lift the hands. Good. Yeah. Find your breath. And now here comes the contraction first, right? Muscular energy first. Jeff, check your hips. Do you want them? Yep, facing the window. There it is. Draw from the feet up the lines of the legs and into the hip sockets. Then press back out. That's the extension. From fingertips, we draw in, shoulder blades on the back, and then we extend out. And we become like that five-pointed star. So we're shining, pressing through feet, shining through fingers, shining through crown. Heart is lifting. And any sounds that allow you to access the warrior that you are. To enter more deeply. Good. And when you're ready, we'll inhale, come up, release, turning both feet forward, maybe using blocks. Bring yourself into a forward fold. Maybe hands on blocks. Maybe hands on floor. Any other sounds? And if your head is lower than the hips, let it go. Shake it out. Good. Inhale, halfway up. Pressing through feet. Press through feet to come all the way up. Let's come to seated. You can sit up on something. Ecky's found a sunny spot on Jeff's mat. Did you ever see the comic strip with cats with solar panels on their backs?
No. You have that.
Yeah. It's kind of their way. All right, so give yourself this moment to find your comfy seat, to feel gravity again. Let the pelvis find its weightiness. Bringing awareness back to the natural Spanda expansion on the inhalation, contraction on the exhalation. And feeling length in the spine and up through crown, a gentle lifting of the heart. With every inhale and then an exhale, letting that go. And every inhale, filling, expanding, letting the heart lift. Exhaling, letting that go. Again. Mindfully tuning in to the natural, universal state of being, expansion, contraction. And remembering this, next time something arises in your lived experience where you feel perhaps wildly expanded, that you can practice coming back home to yourself through a gentle draw to midline contraction, or tuning into the exhalation. Or if you notice something come in that makes you feel wildly contracted, knowing that it's temporary, you can tune in and connect again with expansion through the breath. And in this moment also just noting if you feel any different at this point in the practice than when you started, and if so, how? We're going to bring our hands together now in front of the heart. Invite a deep bow to your own beautiful heart. Your heart at the center of your being and your experience, most sensitive organ and part of you. And tender and resilient and strong. Pulsing contraction and expansion all day long to sustain this beautiful life. That lives through you as you. Namaste.